You know what time it is. Time to hang out with Mr. Coop. With Mr. Cooper. With Mr. Cooper. With Mr. Cooper. Get the latest scoop. From Mr. Cooper. From Mr. Cooper. From Mr. Cooper. Hang with Mr. Coop. With Mr. Cooper. With Mr. Cooper. With Mr. Cooper. Get the latest scoop. From Mr. Cooper. From Mr. Cooper. Yeah.
Welcome to the Big Scoop with Coop. I'm your host, Coop. Season 9 still going strong. People, if you haven't, make sure you go to the bigscoopwithcoop.com to catch episodes from Season 1 all the way up to right now, Season 9. Also, big shout outs to everybody that's watching on Facebook right now. Facebook.com/the Big Scoop with Coop. Also, big shout outs to everybody that's watching on Instagram. IGTV, baby. That's right. At Big Scoop with Coop. Also, catch me on YouTube. Just go to YouTube, look up the Big Scoop with Coop. Make sure you click like and subscribe so you don't miss one episode of the Big Scoop with Coop. All right, enough about me, people. Today's guest, if you're a fan of hip hop or rap, especially in the 90s, especially in 1993, there was a song that everybody was dancing to. It was called Whoop, There It Is. That's right, the group Tagteam. They killed this song and it's still being played today, people. Today's guest I have is DC, the Brain Supreme. Now, DC has been a very busy guy. He's been doing things from music, voiceover, acting. You see him in the commercial, Scoop, There It Is, the GEICO commercial. He's also been playing in the NBA halftime shows. Whoop, There It Is, still a popular song that's being played today through videos, movies, television, commercials, everywhere. You can catch this song. All right, people, let's chop it up with DC and let's see what's going on with him. But I'm going to let you first check out a portion of the song, Whoop, There It Is, if you're new to this song. Also, we're going to check out the GEICO commercial, Scoop, There It Is. After both of those, let's kick it with DC. We're going to chop it up with him and let's see what's going on with him. All right, people, enjoy.
As I flow to the fly from the school of old, hardcore, kick the folklore wreck. 3 to the 2 and 1 mic check, mass skill flow ill on the mess of steel. That's the grill of the microphone I just killed. Party people, wish your party tag team is through. Whoop, there it is, I thought you knew. Whoop, there it is. 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 Yeah, tag team music coming straight at ya. That's me, DC, the Brain Supreme, and my man Steve Rowland. Bring it back, y'all. Bring it back, y'all. Bring it back. Here we go. Whoop, there it is. 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 Whoop, there it is.
Insurance and a whole lot more. So what are you waiting for? Hip hop group Tag Team to help you plan dessert?
French vanilla, rocky road, chocolate peanut butter cookie dough. Scoop, there it is. Scoop, there it is. Scoop, there it is. Scoop, there it is. Scoop, shakalaka, 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 shaka. Scoop, shakalaka, shakalaka, shakalaka.
GEICO. Switch today and see all the ways you could save.
For DC, the Brain Supreme up in here.
Yeah.
DC, how you doing today, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's a good day today. Good day today.
Yes, sir. How's your day been going so far?
Actually, I'm good. I've been coding all day, talking to PR firms, trying to get a little rest because we just did the Western Conference Finals last night. And just grinding, man.
Hey, I feel you. Now these. Now, I ain't gonna lie, DC. We know that you from the ATL and everything. What do you think about the Atlanta Hawks making it through on the eastern side? What do you think about that?
We good. Me and Steve was on a plane yesterday. It's a trip because we was on the plane watching the game, and that would not be possible if Delta hadn't stepped up their Wi-Fi game.
Ooh.
Delta done stepped up their Wi-Fi game, and it is extraordinary. Cause I get the $49 a month go, right?
Yeah.
So I had the game on my computer, my iPad, and my phone. So we had the whole plane crunk because everybody's looking at our, you know what I'm saying? It's like everybody was trying to look at mine, and it was crunk. And I can tell you, it was flawless. That was the best internet I've ever seen on a plane. And
That's crazy.
that's why I was like, am I gonna leave a review? Who am I gonna tell this? I had to tell everybody. So the Wi-Fi is on point, y'all. Y'all can do your thing. I'm telling you, boy. Woo!
That's what I'm talking about. Now these
Years I've known all the Hawks.
Mhm.
I root for them because I know I got friends on the team and everything, but I've just never been a Hawks fan because I'm not, I live in Atlanta and I am a Hawks
Right.
fan to a T. If they're playing anybody else, I want them to win, but I'm from Denver, right? And
Mm.
really, I only have one team, and that's the Denver Broncos, right? So,
Okay.
I love sports, so I love the challenge that, I love the scenarios and the narratives that teams create for themselves. So of course I wanted Atlanta to win because it just I knew, from the jump it was a good game.
Right.
And I was just happy that they won because let's just see what they can do. You know what I'm
Yeah, you're
saying?
right.
The city's happy, and the city really does deserve to have a winning sports team because
Yeah, you're
it's been despair the whole time. You know what I mean? All the way back to my days in Magic City when
mm.
Deion Sanders came to the club, was pissed off after they lost to the Washington Redskins his rookie year. That's how far I go back with the Falcons. You know what I mean? Like I've been in this city.
Wow.
I know Dominique. I know all the players, right? Because I
Mhm.
was DJing all the biggest clubs, so they all knew me. You know what I mean? When Dominique had his club and Deion had his club, and so I got history with all these cats, man.
That's what I'm talking about. Big shout outs to Atlanta. Y'all doing your thing. I'm in North Carolina. Hope
Mm.
you can throw me some of that good luck because the Hornets, we need it bad. Hopefully, we'll get our turn again because, we haven't had it since our heyday of Larry Johnson, Alonzo Mourning, a supreme team.
Y'all would have done
So,
good this year if the youngin had got hurt. If the youngin hadn't got hurt, you would have got a better seating, and then they might have been able to catch their stride because it seems like with them they get better as they keep going,
mhm,
right? So if they could have got a decent first round and they could have figured it out, like, oh, okay, all we gotta do is this, because that's what the shot with them in ball, that's what it seems like. Oh, all we gotta do is this. Okay, let's rock it. And
yeah,
you don't have time to figure that out in one game, especially when you're playing a veteran team that's ready to beat the brakes off of you. They got bust in the mouth. There was just no way they was gonna be able to withstand that. So
that's
playoffs is
true.
a different animal, man. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
true. That's
So you
true.
need 7 games to figure it out.
That's true.
Yeah.
Everybody that's watching worldwide right now, if you're an NBA fan, man, stay tuned because, like we said, and you heard DC said, we don't know how the playoffs are going to turn out now. Me personally, I want to spend in Atlanta to get this far. No offense to all the Atlanta fans and the Hawks. If you're watching, Trae Young, you did your thing, dog. You definitely did your thing.
They got a good team, man. I'm definitely happy for them. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah,
So more power to them, man. Good luck.
oh yeah. Everybody in Atlanta, man, get a bounce in for me. I know
Man,
y'all down there partying. That's what I'm talking about. Now, DC, man, you've been doing a lot in your career. I mean, a lot. It starts back. I mean, back in the 90s. We're going to talk about Whoop, there it is. We're going to talk about GEICO. We're going to talk about all of this. But we got to start this thing from the beginning, DC, for the people that's learning about you for the first time and the people that's been knowing you for years. When did you first realize that you wanted to get into the music industry?
actually, the
Mm-hmm.
music industry, I don't know, man, because we came up hip hop, man. And like when I met Steve in high school and he had a band, I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to be in that band. Ever since I got in his band, I was hooked. And then I was in the choir, and then, our first high school party, I seen 2 turntables and a mixer. So I had to be a DJ. So I had to be all these things. And that's what just really started it. And then started learning how to make songs. And it was like, wait a minute, I really could be a rock star, right? That's how
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this can really happen. Then it became a dream, right? And then became a reality. And once it became a reality, you know, it just, I mean, it's hard to say because I've always been grounded. right? I've always understood what it was I was a part of, and I've always understood what I was getting into because I've always been a DJ, right? I've always been popular. So, when I got to Atlanta, I worked at Magic City, and everybody knew who I was, right? I made my name from DJing. So when Whoop hit, it wasn't that big of a deal because everybody came from all over the world to come to Magic City. So I knew everybody already, right? So it actually was it actually worked out for me well that it was like that because I used to see how the stars would act. I used to see how the athletes would act. I used to see how people would treat each other. And a lot of times it was wrong. And I vowed that I'd never be that person. And that's why I'm still the same dude I am today. I was in the airport last night. Nobody even knew who I was, right? We stand in the TSA, and the black dude was like, "Y'all was at the game?" Because we came straight from the game to the airport. And I had one of the Phoenix Suns shirts on, and I was like, "Nah, we performed at the halftime show." I was like, "Why'd you do that?" Right? And he was like, "What you mean?" I was like, "Halftime show." I was like, "Yeah, tag team. Whoop, there it is." And it was like everybody in that line was like, "What?" And then he said, "From the commercial," and then everybody turned around. And if I had never said nothing, nobody would have known it because it's how I carry myself, right? And I carry myself in a way that I can live my life the way I want to. And if I want to have to do anything, because it's how I carry myself. I've never had to be a star, right? I like the grunt work. I like the hard work. That's the fun part for me. All the fame and the stardom and all that, they can have that because it's really not real, right? It is for some people because they make that their reality. But for me, I want to learn how to code, right? I want to learn PR. I want to learn I want to learn how to build an empire. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm about. And when it's time to do tag team and have fun, cool. When it's time to act, fun. When it's time to do this voiceover and bust this week on CBS, we good, right? So because it takes practice, right? I stay trained. That's true. So you can't be all out, while you're training. So I choose to train because I know that what I'm trying to do ain't nobody trying to do because it's hard. So I like the things that are hard because I know nobody else is trying to do them. And when I accomplish them, because it's just only a matter of when, you know what I mean? True. Not if, but when, I know that I'm separated from a lot of people. Like right now I'm at the pinnacle of my SEO career, search engine optimization. When I say coding, just the ability to be on any page of Google that I want, right? That's true. 10 years ago, you type in tag team, it was all wrestling. You type in tag team today, it's all tag team. So
that's right.
I'm busting my butt, and that's the fun part to me. But don't get me wrong, I do my thing. When I want to turn on, I can. So it works out perfect for me.
But DC, that's no doubt right there. I think a lot of people knows you have that on and off switch. You know when to turn it on and you know when to turn it off. Now, the thing is, like you said, you were DJ in the Magic City. You met people before the days of Whoop. You did your thing. No doubt. Your popularity is out there. People knows that. But when you was DJing and you first started, before you got to the days of Whoop, what type of hurdles did you go through to get to get the mastery of DJing?
My own hubris, man. I remember going to Sac State and I talked them in and let me do in the first fat party because I thought I was the bomb. And I blew the speakers, picked up the turntable off the wrong turntable. It was ready to beat my butt, boy. It was ready to jump me for real. And I talked them out of it, right? I was like, hey, I'll make it up to you, right? And most people would have quit, but I just chose to go deeper. I doubled down, tripled down, and got better, right? And then before long, I'm DJing every single frat party now, right? I'm DJing all up and down the West Coast. I'm DJing in the clubs. I'm DJing everywhere because I kept at it. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. You can't quit. You start something, you don't quit. I don't care how long it takes, right? You don't quit. And like with acting, everybody's like, I've been auditioning, but I ain't booked nothing. And everybody's all emotional about it. And I'm like, look, you know it's going to take this. If it takes me 1,000 auditions to get what I want, then let me do 50 a day so I can hurry up and get to it. Right? It's not,
Yes.
you just can't quit. You got to play offense. Like you just don't have no room for error. And, you know, people always ask me the most simple questions. Well, how do you not quit, DC? Like, don't quit. Right.
So I say, how do you breathe?
You don't quit. You know what I mean? Like, people be like, oh, hey, man, you know, you lucky because you whoop there it is. That don't got nothing to do with it. Don't nobody know that I'm whoop there it is. People don't know the acting world don't know that I did whoop there it is. And the whoop there, the music industry doesn't know that I act and do voiceover.
Two different worlds.
You know what I'm saying? Like when I went to GEICO commercial, they bought me in because of whoop there it is, but because I'm an actor, I prepared for that thing for a month. And all those nuances were prepared because I'm an actor and I prepared. And the night before I went to the director and I was like, yo, I got some ideas. Tried to get a spin and scoop, but it didn't work. You know, I couldn't find nobody to do it. It's like, it'll be done tomorrow. I was like, word. And I told him about the sprinkles. I said, I want a truckload of sprinkles. I'm going to do the salt-based sprinkles, sprinkle food fight, the ode to LeBron. Because I wanted kids to look at that commercial and be like, Mama, I want a party like that. That's how I'm thinking. Just like, you know how when you was younger, you walk in the basket garage, be like, ooh, ice cream cake. That's interesting, right?
Yep.
You know, you never really did one because it didn't make no sense. But I'm like, that's interesting. I wonder what that's about. You know what I mean? So it's like I wanted the commercial to have that essence, right? And we shot that commercial that day, and they did everything we wanted. They probably could have made 5 GEICO commercials out of all the stuff we shot because it was dope. Because it was like, because, you know, we wanted to be like it is when we on stage, a tag team party. You know what I'm saying? And we sat back and, you know, everybody's like, I know you was happy. I was like, not really, because, you know, we're in a pandemic and we can't do shows. So whenever that happens, I'm like, my mindset is take these lemons, make some lemonade, start a lemonade company, franchise it, then sell it for $20 million. That's my mindset, right? So like, yo, well, you know, let's get a publicist and just try to blow the thing up. And the publicist was like, well, we don't know what to do. It's a pandemic. We ain't really done nothing like this. We working from home. It's like, cool. And whenever this happens, I have these tactics. Hustle. I call them learn to learn hustle tactics. And whenever I get stuck on something, I join an organization, society, or association. And those things are filled with people who are expertise at a certain you know, the certain thing that they do that they love, and they've been doing it for 10, 20, 30, 40 years, and they can put you on game. So I joined, I was like, I'm gonna be my own damn publicist. I joined the Public Relations Society of America, and I'm on this podcast with the CEO of this PR firm, and I raised my hand. I'm like, our press release is relevant because I got a press release ready, but something told me to hold it. And I'm about to do a press release today. It's funny. But I was like, what's it for? And I'm like, well, I'm kind of featured in this GEICO commercial called Scoop There It Is. And blew the whole chat up because everybody just started talking about how much they loved it and how their kids love it and their dog love it and their parrot can talk to it and all that stuff, right? Stuff I have no words for, right? And you know, the CEO was like, yes, it's gonna work because the whole last year has been COVID. Right? Every story's been about COVID. Every story's been political. I said, people need a break. And then here you guys come throwing sprinkles and dancing and partying and smile. DC, you'll smile. And yeah, it's going to work. And you need to go here for all the publicists. You need to go here for all the podcasts. You need to go here for all the TV talk shows. Go here for all the journalists. Make sure your pitches are like this. And she gave me the entire game. In 10 And I have not looked back, and it has changed my life forever, and has opened doors for me that I never could imagined. And it's the reason that you and I are chopping it up right now. I pretty much have my PR firm by accident. But not by accident, but because somebody told me no. And I said, okay, thank you. Because you just give me a gift, because if you tell me no, I'm going to be... I train in improv, and the first rule of improv is yes and... Right? You can't say no. So it's like, yes, what's the next thing? You know, so that's I don't give up. And Now, like I said, last night, there's going to be a press release in the morning about it, and it's going to go all over the world, and the whole world will know we did the Western Conference Finals. But what they don't understand is that that's 300 backlinks to my website that are high quality backlinks because they're from CBS and NBC and AP and all those. You see what I'm saying? So that just blows me up more on the internet side. But at the same time, everybody in the world gets to see. And then all the people who see me doing press releases, they might not pull the press release and put it on their newscast, but they definitely reading it. And
you
what
got that right.
This is for me, it is a Trojan horse for the stuff that I want in life, for my dreams. So you get the line, tag team did this, but DC about to do this, that, and that. And he's going to do this, that. And if you want to see him here, boom, 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 blam. Yes. And now, all it takes is one person to say, word, hey, call his agent. I got $500,000 for him. That's all it takes. You see what I'm saying? But, that's easier said than done, but ain't nobody thought of nothing like that. You ain't never heard nobody hustling like that, back, just breaking it down and bringing it back up. And I do about 3 or 4 of these a day, bro. And it'd be different people from different walks of life. I do them with mental health people. I do them with doctors. I do them with dentists. I do them with everybody, millionaires, billionaires. We sit here and do these podcasts, and I'll be just spitting game because that's all it is. It's my game. It's what I do. It's what I've done. It's what my life represents, right? And people's like, oh, we even talk about whoop, there it is, but it don't matter because the genesis of all of it is whoop, there it is.
That's true.
Bad and ugly, because each incident that's happened in my life has spawned so much more positivity and so many masterful things that I've acquired to put in my toolbox, that when all these things mature, they serve me in ways that I don't even know they're serving me because they're a part of me. You see what I'm saying?
I do.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? It's like, people used to get on me all the time when I was young, like, man, you're doing too much. You're doing too much, dog. All my little girlfriends be like, why you doing that? You ain't making no money doing it. I was like, yeah, but I'm still gonna keep doing it, right? Why you buying all that stuff? You ain't making no money doing it. I'm like, yeah, but you don't get the point, right? The point is,
it's coming.
It's not even about that. It's like there is no quid pro quo, right? Once you realize that you can't expect nothing off of your efforts, right? This works for me. I don't know if it works for everybody else, but I don't expect nothing. I just play offense, throw it out in the universe, because you don't know how that seed's gonna grow. You don't know how that's gonna come back and hit you in the head. It might take 10 years, 5 years, 2 years, 2 weeks. You don't know how it's gonna grow, right?
But that's very true.
I know that they all come back, because they all have come back. And when they come back, it's like, yo, I remember I planted that. Dang, that worked, right? And when that happens, you realize that all the mistakes and all the opportunities that were missed and all those things that you beat yourself up over in life, you corrected all of them. You set yourself up for success to correct them all. So now they're irrelevant. Now you don't have that emotional baggage because you didn't do something, or you failed to do something, or you know what I mean? You're old and bitter because you didn't think a certain way. Not me, man.
Now,
I
get you
thinking about that, dog. I got control of my emotions, right?
That's right.
And I can say when I'm wrong, because that's the path to being right, and it kills your ego, and most of all, kills your pride. And your pride is the one thing that will stop you dead in your tracks from doing anything.
You're right. Now, DC, you said something. You said something a while ago. I got to bring it up now. I have to. Now, you just said, boom, there it is, was the genesis of the stepping stone of where you're at today. Because like you said, everything's opened up. But I will let you know, the world wants to know this, DC. And I will go and ask the question. The world wants to know it. You and Steve Rowland, 1992, I believe y'all made the song, but it came out in 93. Am I correct? Okay, I got a good memory. Now, I'm going to tell my age. I'm about to tell how old I am. In 1993, when this song dropped, I was 13 years old. It was playing in my skate rink. I was a big skater. That song was on rotation. Now, everybody wants to know, how did you come up with the top come into the play in this whole scenario?
It's a party saying. Just like throw your hands in the air, waving like just don't care. DJs was doing it all over. And think about it. And it wasn't just, there was 10 Whoop There It Is records. People don't even know because we was in the Southeast, right? So it's like that was a popular, just like if everybody started, when everybody's talking about it was lit, that every record had it was lit in it. Everybody, think about it. Just think about that, right? It was no Manhattan Project or Rocket Science Project. It was a song about us chasing ass on a Friday night. That's it. It's that simple, dude. Right? And if you want a backstory, the only backstory to the song is that we grew up hip hop and we moved to the down south, and that's the land of bass. And we hip hop artists, but I'm like, we'll never get out of here making hip hop. We got to make bass. But we didn't want to make bass music like they were making it. We said, we're going to go back to the genesis of hip hop. We're going to go back to the essence. And to me, people might disagree. I don't care what nobody say. The essence of hip hop is Planet Rock.
African Bambaataa and Soul.
I don't care what nobody say. Planet Rock, that's the one. You throw that song on, it's over. You throw that song on, everybody's butt is moving. Everybody's dancing. Ain't nobody mean mugging. Everybody's like, woo. Just like you just did, right? And I said, just make it up tempo, dog. Steve made the beat up tempo. We used the Kano sample because been wanting to use it for years, but we never had a reason because we never made nothing up tempo. You see what I'm saying? And then the Kano sample fit in perfect. And then I had 4 or 5 other songs. I had 5 books of rhymes that I could have wrote with that song, with that beat. But it was like, whoop, there it is. I was working on it, and I was like, ooh, this works. And we went to the studio and cut it. And that night I worked at Magic City, put it in the cassette. And to this day, it's the biggest record that I've ever had a response on. Like 15 people.
That's very true.
Who's like, yo, you got that on something? Like, nah, man, I just finished this. Medusa's like, dog, you got one there, bro. You got one there, bro. And these are people I know that don't move on anything. Right. And then the girls was loving it. So it's like I knew I had something, but back then I thought every record I'm making, when you're young, every record you make is the bomb. So it's like, okay, let's do this. And, man, I know how it is when people want to make their own narrative about you. But it just was a simple thing of us making a record and a hit. You know what I mean? It wasn't no formula, it wasn't no, of course we all got talent. We all got, this, but it's what you do. It's what you do when you face the adversity of all that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because, all the major labels was trying to give us a deal, but they didn't know what to do with it because it was bass. And, the cat that gave us the deal, his name is Al Bell. He worked he owned a company called Bellmark Records. And if you don't know where Al Bell is, they're, the beginning of soul music. At the beginning, there were 3 record companies: Philly International, Motown, and Stax. Al Bell owned Stax. And he was a young man. And he was older. And a lady named Lisa McCall Mercury told me to call him. And I called him. He called me back in about 2 weeks. I was like, Mr. Bell, we got a hit record. I'm at the hottest club in the country. You need to sign us. He was like, all right. And I was like, man, quit tripping, dude. You ain't even heard the record.
That simple?
And he's like, look, man. And I'll never forget these words. He said, brother, I don't have to hear the record. I hear it in your spirit. Let's agree to agree. Get this thing popping. And I was like, word. Gave my 2 weeks at Magic City, signed a messed up record contract, and in a month and a half, we were platinum. Right? So it was like that. It was instant. And, a month and a half, we traveling the world.
Yes, you were.
Rocking the house.
Yes,
you
we were.
On all the TV shows, we everywhere. So I was ready for it, and we made money and we had a ball and we balled out and did everything. And then, the adversity hits and then you realize what you signed. And then it's time, to start figuring out what you want to do. Right. Mm-hmm. And because I didn't burn no bridges and because I didn't act like a star and because I was always me, I could go back to work and do what I loved the most anyway, DJing. That's after like 4 or 5 years. And there was a big lawsuit, not a big lawsuit, but the company, 2 record companies was fighting over the rights. And I said, you know what? you need to look at the glass half full instead of looking at it half empty. Because when people look at the glass half empty, they end up old and bitter because they waste all their time, coulda, woulda, shoulda, right? And I said, what you gonna do? I said, I'm gonna be a paralegal. Let me figure out what these fools is doing with my record, right? And I said, okay, I'm gonna just gather all the evidence. I'm gonna gather all this discovery because I know I'm gonna have my day in court. One of them gonna need me, and I'm gonna have so much ammunition against them because I'm keeping good records that, you know, we should be good. And that happened, and we prevailed after 20 years. But, you know, during that 20 years, it was, you know, my life has been a life full of correcting those mistakes. And if I hadn't corrected those mistakes and got better and learned about business, learned about finance, learned about the music industry, learned how to do voiceover, learned how to do SEO, learned how to do all these things, I wouldn't be where I'm at now.
That's
So
very
all
true.
that was necessary. So when I say that Whoop There It is the genesis of me.
Yes.
That's what I mean.
Now, DC, there's one thing I can compare Whoop There It Is to Planet Rock, and I'm gonna tell you why. Not the bass situation. There was so many different mixes of Whoop There It Is that came out just like Planet Rock. It was so many different mixes. Even Hammer had to jump into it with the Addams Family. I still remember that to this day. Now I'm gonna ask you, DC, what was your favorite mix of Whoop There It Is? Was it the original, or did you have a favorite mix of it?
I don't know, man. I mean, I could have cared less. I mean, I like the original. You know what I'm saying? I like the original. Right. So, I mean, I'm not even, you know, there's one, what is it by? Ultimixes. I like that one. And then there's another one. Yeah, I like the Ultimix. Yeah, the Ultimix one is probably my favorite because it goes into Whoop, but it doesn't go into Whoop, right? It breaks down a beat and then brings it back up. And I love that, man. So it works out to me. It works out. Yeah, it's dope. It's dope.
I think my favorite mix was the old school mix. I'm not sure if you heard that one.
WPGC mix. Yeah. Well, that's 95 South. Yeah. That's dope.
And I like that one. And when they had gonna see you rip it. No, that's the whole song. Yeah.
Up in WPGC and DC make that. Or I think PGC's in DC. Yeah. Yep.
That was my favorite one. Now, DC, we've talked about Whoop. We've done all of that. Let's fast forward this thing up to where you at now. Now, you came back on the scene. People were seeing you around Atlanta still. You're doing your thing. Now, all of a sudden, boom, you on a GEICO commercial. You and Steve Rowland doing your thing. People, old school heads, got happy to see it. We love to see how you remixed it to Scoop There It Is. Yeah. How did you all get in contact with GEICO to make this commercial?
So, you know, that goes back to me learning SEO. Because in 2010, we had a situation where everybody thought Barack Obama was in the Whoop There It Is video, right? Because they took a picture, a frame of the video, and it was of LA snow, and it looked exactly like Barack Obama. And they took that thing and they ran with it, and they was trying to find me and couldn't find me. And when they found me, it was like, we couldn't find you. And I was like, how'd you find us? Like, we had to go through all kind of stuff to find you. And I was like, okay. And then we did a whole week of press. And at the end of that week, I was pissed off because I was like, dang, you can't make no money because can't nobody find you, right? And I said, that'll never happen again. And that's when I started my SEO career. And that's when I started building websites and learning SEO and learning how Google works and learning how social media works and mastering it, right? And fast forward today, I get a call from my agent. It's like, hey, DC, you booked a GEICO commercial. I was like, don't play with me. Play on my emotions, Smokey. I didn't even audition for a GEICO commercial. Thinking acting. And it's like, no, they said they wanted a tag team. I was like, oh. And they had called. And I didn't answer, but they could have given up and went to another rap group. But they kept looking, and they found me on IMDb, which is my actors portal, which led them to my agent. And you talk about synergy. I don't have to get no lawyers. I don't have to do nothing. I let my agent work the deal, and it's the biggest deal I've ever made in my life. All because I didn't give up. I kept hustling. I didn't take no for an answer, and I learned how to learn. Right? Wow. You never know how the things that you learn are going to come back and help you. That's why you got to learn it all.
That's true.
You got to never stop. because it's always going to serve you. And I know that that's the reason, right? And then now, and I'm not just any artist. I'm, most artists got a publicist and a manager and all those buffers between them. Nah, I am inside the Martin agency. I know everybody in the Martin agency. I know the people in my agency. I know I deal with people directly. You know what I mean? And I know exactly what they talked about because, I don't, everybody's like, just let them do the work and you can work on your craft. And it's like, nah.
Gotta get to know them.
You know what I mean? I can have a team, right? And we can work it out. But I'm gonna be developing the relationships with the people because it's relationships.
That's what I'm talking about.
Go, right? And when you make those relationships and don't burn bridges, you can be mad at somebody you was mad at 20 years ago, but because you didn't burn the bridge, people grow up and they mature, and you realize what you was arguing over was stupid, and now you good, right? But if you ever burn the bridge, you remember that. You remember that.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
A lot of people might not want to mess with you no more because you burnt that bridge and you went out like that. And I preach that all the time. It's like, don't go out like a sucker because you just never know how things come back on you, right? Yep. So
you're right.
And like I said, it's all easier said than done because people do you dirty.
Yes, very true.
People do you dirty. True. You know what I mean? Yeah. But then, and people don't believe in you and people hate on you. And sometimes it's people you love the most, right? But, they don't know no better. They just, they think they know that they helping you because they feel a certain way and they only know what they know. But you can't take it personal, right? And that goes back to sequestering your ego and your pride. Once you do that, man, the world of opportunity opens up for you because your mind is open and everything is possible because you don't got that, that misery and all that crap festering in you that just brings you down. So, I mean, I'm different, dude. And it's taken a while to get to this because I used to be a jerk, right? I used to be working in them clubs, but you had to be because working in the clubs like working in the streets. So you had to be hard. You know what I mean? You had to be hard on the girls. You had to be a whole bunch of things, but you also, it was to your advantage to be good too, right? So I was both. I'm them girls' brother, they uncle, they father, they pimp. You know what I'm saying? I'm all these things to them. You know what I mean? I'm their guru. I'm their teacher. I'm whatever I can be to them that can help them because we all making money together, and I need their money because I'm gonna get my money, right?
Yep.
We're gonna work and we're gonna get this paper because this is what we do, and I was the best at it, right? And also the club was like, the club money was great to me, but then at the same time, I run my life like a corporation, so all that cash is good for me as opposed to being bad for me. The only bad thing about it is that you get cash every day and you spend it, right? And that's a hard thing to do. And then what happens is you always think that you're gonna be able to make money, just like if you're an artist. You always think you're gonna be able to make money, and you're always gonna have hit records, and then it don't happen. But it's what you do after that that shows the character of your manhood, right?
You're right.
That's why you got to study. That's why you got to work hard and not, there's the traditional way, but there's also the hustle way,
That's true. That's true.
I'm just that type of dude, man.
That's what I'm talking about. Ladies and gentlemen that's watching worldwide right now, I hope you're taking down notes. DC is dropping gems right now. You cannot give up on what you're trying to do. I don't care if you're in the music industry, the movie and television industry, voiceover. Man, you could be a plumber or a waitress. You make sure you get out there. You never give up on your dream, on what you're trying to do. Because as you see, DC started back then, Magic City DJing. Then he hit 92, 93, whoop, there it is. Now, GEICO, these doors are just opening for him. And trust me, it can happen for you too, people. Now, DC, I know you're a busy man. I'm not going to hold you much longer. Are there any other projects that you're working on that you want the world to know about right now?
I mean, the world gonna know it soon enough, right? I mean, shoot, I think I got three movies and two TV shows probably about to drop at the same time. They bring it back to GEICO commercial. So I've told you, man, I stay quiet. I'm humble. I do my work. I do my damage through press releases and through mediums that you know, actually get in front of people in a positive way, right? While still being
Right.
able to maintain me. You know what I mean? Like, it's not
Mhm.
for attention, it's more for engagement. I want to engage, I want people to know what I'm doing, but I want people to engage. So I set it up. And the key to setting it up is this for all you kids out there. You have to let them see you hustle. The only way you can let them see you hustle is by in stealth mode, place yourself in front of them. So if I want to be in front of all the casting directors in the country, then what am I going to do? I'm going to drop a press release when something big happens and throw that I'm doing this. So all you casting directors, holler at me. And they're seeing me hustle, right? If I, I listen to people to know what not to do, right? So if I want my agents to see me hustle, I'm gonna call my agent. I'll be like, hey, I just want to thank you for everything you're doing for me. I appreciate it. And I have one quick question though. I'm doing this class on Monday, doing this intensive on Tuesday. I got 2 classes on Wednesday, 2 on Thursday, and 3 on Friday. I just like to know, do I need to be doing anything else? Am I missing something? Do you have any advice? Like, DC, if you don't go on, ain't nobody hustling, but what did I just do? I just ran down my whole week and I let them see me hustle without asking them for anything. Why ain't I auditioning for Black Panther? Why come I ain't be in this movie? How come I don't get more auditions? You see what I'm saying? And now that they know that I'm hustling, they're gonna work harder for me. So they're gonna work harder for me subliminally in spirit because they know I'm about this business. You
Wow.
count on me. You see what I'm saying? You have to
Yes.
let people see you hustle. When was a DJ, I'm not just a DJ. I'm your light dude. I'm your sound dude. I do your flyers. I do your radio spots. I do your television spots. I do your fashion photography. I do your calendars. I do everything, right? Because
One stop shop.
not only do you got to make them, let them see you hustle, but you got to become invaluable, right?
Mm.
Because if you can become invaluable, they can't ever fire you. And if they do fire you, or if something does happen where you don't have that job anymore, now your transition is seamless because you put in more work and didn't have to. But because you did, now all those things that you learned coming back to help you to the next job, to get to the next job. So if you're in a dead end job that you can't stand, my advice to you is to do way more than you're supposed to, even if it pisses you off, and learn everything you can that job has to offer because all those things are going to help you out later on.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Everybody, I hope you're paying attention once again. Now, DC, like I said, a lot of people are watching right now worldwide. They're loving what they're hearing right now. Now, what is the best way for everyone to keep up with you on social media so they'll know what your next step is?
Hey man, I do SEO, so you can type in anything about DC, tag team, whoompthereitis, whatever. It's going to pop up. You're going to find. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what it takes. One thing I do is you make all your social networks the same. So everything is tag team whoomp or DC Glenn ATL. Sit. Simple.
Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you follow him. And if you still don't understand how to follow him, Google DC, Google Tag Team, click on the link. It is right there. He's not hard to find. Make sure you do it. Now, DC, you've been doing it through the whole interview, but I'm going to ask a question anyway. What advice would you give any male or female that wants to start in the music industry or wants to become an actor or even a voiceover artist? What advice would you give them?
Don't quit. Like, okay, so I'll give you an example, man. Music industry.
Mhm.
People come up, like, people ask just like you just asked. They run up on me, DC, put me in the game, put me in the game. I'm like, all right, send me an email. What's your email? All right, I'm gonna send you something. I'm gonna send you a book. If you don't like to read or can't read, I'm gonna send you this video. Once you finish it, holler at me. You get a crazy look on their face. They be like, I thought nah. You gotta prove yourself to be worthy of this game. So if you do that, I give you the whole game, but I can't give it to you all right now because you're not gonna do it, right? It's too much. And what happens is 98% of people never call me back. But the dude I got a cat named Cordell, he called me back and he's a Army veteran from Afghanistan, suffers from post-traumatic stress disorder, but he writes beautiful lyrics about just war, about just you talk about like gangster music. You talk about gangster music, and I was like, you know what I mean? And he just wanna, you know, I'm thinking this dude got it because he got the whole military if he blow it up, right? If he do it the right way, he can have everybody in the military his biggest fan because now he can help people. I'm thinking all kind of crazy stuff, right? But he comes back to me and he was like, man, I read the book, but I kind of don't get it. And I'm like, all right. And then I spit game to him, tell him what the book was about. And he was like, okay, 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 but he still kind of don't get it. And I'm like, dude, the reason I did it this way, because I have full confidence that you'll never get taken advantage of in the music industry. I said, I've given you the back end first. Because the front end is the money, the clothes, the cars, all the women. That's the front end. But what happens when all that ends? Because it will end.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm giving you the back end first. All you have is your rights. And when you have your rights to your music, then you can live off that forever. But if you don't have your rights to your music, you'll end up old and bitter. And you'll never come back. Right? And it's real talk. And then we went to the next phase. Well, how do I get shows? Boom, told him that. He started getting shows. Then the pandemic hit. But, you know, it is, I think, different, dude. I'm not, you know, everybody's success story is different. And, you know, for acting is the same way. You're going to have to go through a whole lot. And it's going to seem like it's never going to work. And but what did it for me, and if I have advice for actors, learn the hierarchy of how to get hired as an actor. The hierarchy of getting hired as an actor, you got the producer hires the director, and the director hires, or the producer and the director hire the casting agent. Then the casting agent sends out a notice, hey, we're looking for this, and this. And then it sends it out to all of the talent agencies. Then all the talent agencies submit pictures. Then the casting directors looks at all the pictures. And then when they look through all the pictures, we'll take maybe 100 of this, five of them, let them audition. Then they'll go through the auditions, and then they'll whittle it down to 3. Then they'll whittle it down to 2. Then they whittle it down to 1. And then you're cast. So once I found that out, oh, there's levels.
Hey, it's true.
I can sneak it. I can cut out the middle people, right? Mm-hmm. And I figured out a way to cut out, and it's a natural progression. But you know, you're in a pool of 3,000 people that are all going for the same part, and then you get whittled down to the last 2 or 3. That's a good thing. Just because you didn't get it, don't mean it's a good thing. And every audition you do is a chance for you to get another one or to get better, because it's about getting better. But I know this, but at the same time, I can still be blowing it up and letting these casting directors see me hustle, letting these coaches see me hustle, getting my name in these people's mouths, so when they talk about me, they see me hustle. Right. And then somebody's going to be like, give them a shot. And then you book. And then now you get to talk to the director, all the other actors, and you let them see you hustle. And now everybody knows, and now they trust you. Now you start booking everything. Right?
That's what I'm talking about.
But it's hell to get there. Voiceover is hard because everybody think they got a good voice. They can do voiceover, but voiceover has been the hardest by far. Because you got people who've been doing it 30 years that it's so hard that I don't even know why. For me, it's hard because it's just like juggling 8 balls at one time. You gotta remember articulation. I'm gonna pronounce the thing right. Well, they want me to be conversational, but how do I be conversational and energetic? How do I do this? How do I do that? And it really isn't about all that. They know what they're looking for, but half the time they don't know what they're looking for. So you just gotta do your best. But for me, I know the hierarchy and I know how it works. So now I can sneak in other ways. Throw it in a press release. Throw it here. Throw it there. This is what I do, y'all. Holla at me. Cartoon Network. What's up? For the longest, I was throwing it out there. I want to be, you know, I had a meeting with my agents. They were like, DC, what do you want to do? I was like, y'all do a great job for me. I'm cool. DC, what do you want? I said, I'm cool. DC, what's your bucket list? Different question. All right. I got it now. I want to be in the Mandalorian, anything in the Star Wars universe. That's right. I want 5 lines with The Rock. I want to be in big movies, small parts. And now I'm auditioning for Star Wars stuff in voiceover to sign one of the biggest agents. Not necessarily signed, but people's messing with me. And the more I throw stuff out there, the more it's coming back to me. And I'm not worried about it. I just keep grinding and make sure that, it's funny because a lot of my mentors, a lot of people who I deal with, they see me and they're like, how do you even do all of this? It's like, you can't do everything, DC.
Why not?
Like, this works like this, man, but you can't do it like that. And I'm like, all right, you're right. I can't do everything. But you know what? I sure enough can be prepared for everything. And they be like, you know what? You're right. That's a good way to approach it. And what they don't realize is the same thing that they disapproved of is the exact same thing they approved of, just said differently.
Wow.
Because preparation, preparing for everything is doing everything.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So if opportunity comes my way, I'm prepared for it as much as I can be. And then I'm not just all out in the woods with it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't fall apart if I have to do something with that. I'm prepared enough to where, hey, I could do that. Like just now, I got LeBron James. It's called an ADR. So that means I got to sound like LeBron James. And I'm just figuring out how the heck am I going to do this? But I'm going to do it because I don't, you know what I mean? Like, but that's one of the things. That's one of the things that happens, right? It's like, I'm not a ventriloquist, right? But that's what you say you are, so you better step up, right?
That's what I'm talking about.
You can do this. You better step up. What's up? And, I might not be able to get that one in today, but at least I know that that's something that they looking for. So then I can start working on that. I can start looking at a lot of his stuff because I can halfway do it, but it's like, now I can go to it all the way because I know what to expect, and now I get to prepare for stuff like that. And you want to prepare for all the things that they want you to do because there's only a handful of black athletes, actors, or whatnot that they would want you to do that for. And now that's what you got to work on a little bit, right? That's just how I think, right? Most people just be like,
I'm talking about.
I can't do it. I ain't doing that. But I'm like, how can I do it? How can I pull this?
That's what I'm saying. You're doing the thing. You are, ladies and gentlemen, worldwide. I hope you have been taking notes on this. DC has dropped so many gems out there, how to get from ground zero to level 100. So make sure you take everything in, write it down, speak it into existence, throw it out there. It's going to work. I promise you, it's going to work some way, somehow. Now, DC, this is the last segment of the show right here. It's called Take the Floor. Now, you got up to 2 minutes to say whatever you want to say. No questions asked. DC the Brain Supreme, take the floor.
Well, I would just like to thank you. Let me come on your show and run my damn mouth on the real. Because, quiet as kept, man, I learn more by talking, right? And me doing interviews and podcasts and whatever every day. I get to meet new people, get to meet good brothers like yourself, and we get to chop it up and we get to learn from each other, right? Like I figured out 4 or 5 new things just talking to you, right? Wasn't even trying, but it might come in the form of an analogy. It might come in the form of a different way to help brothers out to see things a little more clearly. And, I am just grateful for that. And I just want to thank you. And, to everybody out there listening and you trying to figure it out and trying to figure a better way, the one piece of game I can give you to where you can learn to hustle in minutes is to join an organization. Whatever it is you want to do, find an organization, national something or such, right? And you ain't even got to join. Just pick up the phone and start calling every number on that website and ask them, like, what did you guys think about? Well, we do this, that. It's like, well, do you want to join? It's like, well, why should I join? Tell me. And just make them pitch you and learn everything you can, and you will know the whole game about that whole industry in probably 2 weeks if you just do that. You can get a whole education. You still got to put in the work. But but you can get the education from it, right? You can understand what it is and know if it's for you to jump in. And then if you do jump in, now you got a place you can go where you got all the resources, financial resources, resources that support that profession. And now you can do your own thing. You can make your own thing custom to you, and you can provide services for people that sorely need it, and you come up. That's the best advice I can give all you young brothers and sisters out there. And just don't ever quit. It's not a good look to quit, and you just waste time. So, even if you can slow down. Just don't quit. Get back to it. And that's all I got to say on this good day.
That's what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. DC the Brain Supreme. Make sure you go Google him. Follow him on social media. Make sure you check out Whoop There It Is. If you're young, under 20, go look it up. Go to YouTube. I promise you, you can find every mix in the world on it. Make sure you catch up on DC. You never know what he's going to be next. He already said he got movies dropping, other commercials dropping. You never know what this guy going to be doing next in order. So make sure you stay tuned to him. Keep up with him. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for coming on the Big Scoop with Coop. And my next guest is, I never announce my next guest. I ain't going to announce it. You got to make sure you stay tuned to it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, until the next time on the Big Scoop with Coop.